Abbott is getting ready for their annual field trip to the local zoo. As the kids line up with their permission slips, Ava warns the students not to forge their parents' signatures. She chooses the students who have to stay behind and leaves them in Mr. Johnson's care. Outside, the other students cheer while Ava explains that she hired free chaperones to save money. Barbara introduces her daughter Taylor as one of them, and when she explains that Taylor is from New York City, all the students and Melissa boo at her. Zach, Jacobs's boyfriend, is already bonding with the kids over sneakers, while Janine tells her boyfriend Tariq not to trade sandwiches with the kids. Ava warns her to keep him in check since she didn't exactly fill out the paperwork for this field trip, but they're going anyway. Gregory's student Kenny is nervous about going to the second grade and doesn't want to get on the bus, so Janine offers to watch over him for the day so he can get used to her before next year. Naturally, when Janine asks Kenny if he wants to be in her group, he says no. On Janine's bus, Tariq gets an email from Fade, his music sponsor. They want him to tour elementary schools in New York and write a whole anti-drug kids album. Janine congratulates him and Barbara asks him if he'll be working full-time in New York. Tariq says he will be for at least the next year and mentions offhand to Janine that they're moving to New York. She's shocked he assumes that she would leave Abbott to go with him. At the zoo, Janine dumps her confusion about her relationship on Melissa, while Tariq looks at giraffes. Meanwhile, Barbara takes the students to see her favorite lizard Duster and is upset when she finds out the Tuatara has been retired. At a zoo exhibition, the students listen to an explanation of different birds, while Janine tries to bond with Gregory's student Kenny. She explains that everything will be the same for him in second grade, but gets off-topic thinking about how different things would be for her in New York. Talking to Gregory, Janine finds out that he signed on full-time at Abbott. He thanks her for helping him realize that Abbott is a special place, and Janine starts to tear up. Suddenly, Taylor brings Gregory a clam chowder, which he hates, and it's clear they've been seeing each other. Janine walks the zoo with Jacob and his students, but he tears up and walks away after telling her he can't imagine being at Abbott without her. Next, Janine sits down with Barbara, who doesn't know if she has the energy to teach anymore. Before they can get deeper into their conversation, Tariq arrives. Janine tells Tariq that they need to have a conversation about everything, and she begins to explain that she loves her job and Philadelphia too much to leave. She almost gets her entire thought out, but suddenly Tariq notices that Kenny, Gregory's student, is missing from the group. Janine gathers the chaperones, teachers, and Ava and tells them that she can't find Kenny. Barbara is calm in a crisis and organizes everyone into groups to search the zoo, watch the exits, and entertain the other kids. Gregory and Janine search the zoo together, and Janine finds Kenny in a hot air balloon on the zoo grounds. Before Janine and Kenny can get off the balloon, the operator takes off and they're stuck inside. Janine is afraid of heights, and she sits on the bottom of the balloon with Kenny. Down on the ground, Melissa tells Barbara that she's only gotten better with age, and that seeing her going into Super Barbara mode reminded her of when they first started working at Abbott. Barbara admits that while she might retire someday, it won't be today. In the balloon, Janine tells Kenny that it's okay to scared, but that the change to second grade will be amazing. She and Kenny stand up on the balloon before it returns to the ground. Safely back in the zoo, Janine realizes that change is what she needs as well. As Taylor and Gregory walk away holding hands, Janine decides to come clean to Tariq. She suggests that their lives are going down different paths and admits that she doesn't want to move to New York or do long distance with him. Janine wants to take a break and figure out who they are without each other while he's in New York. Tariq is stunned but still asks her if he can sleep with other people while they're apart. They hug and do their handshake one more time before the buses get ready to leave. As the buses load, Gregory uses his fun voice for the first time and Melissa is impressed. In a breakaway, he mentions that he's excited for next year. He knows that Abbott is a special place with a lot of special people, and makes eye contact with Janine before he sits next to Taylor. On the bus ride home, Barbara tells Janine Abbott is where she belongs and that she's glad Janine will be staying at the school.